Hello, welcome. Sorry, I don't know what happened to the last chat. I guess it froze up, but um, either way, thank you, Miss Helms, for coming. And yeah, everything got resolved. I was stressing because I had till midnight at my time, and it's 11:31. Just got resolved 1 minute and 37 seconds ago. So I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, you know. Um yeah, about that map that's behind me. It's got America, the left side of it is half of it's Mexico. So I don't know what time frame. I think it's after Christopher Columbus. So I don't know. I can give you a better view. It's all in Latin and stuff like that. I'm sure you might know. I would love a little input on it because it was kind of a gift to me. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Hey, did you hear the intro, Miss Holmes?" So half of the okay. I was gonna say, oh, I gotta go the other way. I'm opposite on the camera, so in the United States, half of it is Mexico, owned by Mexico. So I think this is post Christopher Columbus. I'm glad you can. Thank you so much. That's why I rebooted. Thank you so much. So, the western half of the United States, if you'd like, I'll take the freaking thing off the wall. But I was actually hoping that I could get your opinion on it and see what year you think it is, you know? Maybe I could do that because I gotta either unhook the laptop or maybe I can just back it up. Yeah, I got enough cord maybe. Oop, I just gotta be able to figure out how to angle the. No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Yeah, because it's after Columbus. The colonies are already established, I believe. Um, they're called Canada, though. Okay. They're called Canada. I'm gonna give you. I'm just going by. Oh Lord, what happened? Something happened. I don't know what this is. All right, something just happened on my Okay, there we go. All right, so let's see. I hold it up. That's Africa. I wanted to show you North America because that's probably where we're going to tell where most of the stuff is happening. Oop, let's get it where it doesn't reflect. Can you see that? Good. You see, you see green. Okay. All right. So it's a map. I just was curious if you knew what time frame that was. That's yes. It's before the British arrival, but it's before it's after Christopher Columbus for sure because it's all marked. Oh, I'm gonna put my green. It's a. Don't you like this much more than my little green tape spot? Let's see if I can get it up there. Oh, yeah. Okay. That was my background. But It could be the conquistadors. Okay. Well, oh, now it's crooked. Sorry. I think that's all right. All right. It's good enough. Now it's good enough. No, I am not Mr. I'm well. Uh, in the kitchen, I'm definitely a perfectionist. Um, and my wife, like when we throw parties and stuff, that's what she calls Mr. Perfectionist. But it's funny because I'm so laid back, and most of the rest of my life, I don't care, you know. But I don't know when it comes to running a dinner or something like that. It's just like I go. It's funny. So maybe I'll take a picture of it and post it, and then you can um, tell me. I'm so happy right now that I was able to redo my webpage for another 5 years. It all got done. Yeah. Yeah, whenever I do anything that's I'm a I can't even go to somebody else's party and sit down. I'm usually up like I'm just I that's what I do. That's my I'm like born and bred into running parties, and I will be sitting at someone's house and cleaning up plates and pulling them into the garbage, and people are like, "Who's that guy? Does he work for you?" You know. Yeah, no, it's just what I do for a living. It irritates me. I just I don't know. Obsessive compulsive, maybe, but maybe to be successful is how I am. I don't know. You know. Aaron, thank you so much. Miss Helms, Aaron is the one that got the whole website together. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is your first live. You're seeing me live. I have to work for a little bit, and then Erin, who just popped in, her husband is having his 50th birthday, which I will be arriving to, and I'm not allowed to cater it. I'm only allowed to bring ice buckets. So, um, Erin's husband is somebody I grew up in high school with many, 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 many years ago. Erin is the one that got the domain done. I know. I gotta. It's in my blood. I gotta help with the parties. I gotta help with the. If I'm there, I'm just, you know, it's just, I can't help it. I can't help it. You know. Great. Is this the first time you guys have seen me on live? Um, I go live lots. A lot of times, sometimes I've imbibed in a few, and some of them are worse than others. A lot of those are unlisted, but some of my good ones are listed. Mm. But Miss Helms, I'm so happy that you were able to happen to be here the first night that I premiered my map. It's so awesome that you were here, that you could help me with it, because the first, it's so funny that the first time I saw it, I was like, this is a really cool map. And I said, I think I know somebody that can tell me elaborate more on it. So it was really cool that you were the first person here, the premiere night of the. Plus, it covers that big green hole in the tape, you know. I know you guys are welcome in. Thank you so much, Aaron. No, that's cool. You guys are on my live YouTube, you know. My parents watched it the first time, I think, when I went live. I did my first cooking live, you know. So that's cool. But most people in my actual life don't come into my lives. I've got internet people. They come in from Greece. Miss Helms is from Washington. Uh, she's one of my friends from I met through YouTube. You know, I meet so many people through this. It's fun. You know, this is actually the studio of my remodeled Aaron, as you guys can see. The emergency bathroom. I didn't want to show that. um, Mrs. Tora Helms, her nickname is the Professor. Um, she's got like uh, I don't know if you can explain it a little bit more, Miss Helms. The equivalence of the way that you described it to me when we first met was the way that you described to me was that you would be like a curator of a museum or something like that because you majored in history. Um, I'm not sure, but if you can elaborate for Aaron, that'd be that'd be cool. But Tara Helms is I've got two favorite YouTubers, and they're tied. The two favorite YouTubers I have is Miss Tora Helms that's here with me tonight, and the Solomon Project, who's a trucker that goes all over the United States. And those are my two favorite people to have conversation with. So yes. Yes, and we have some interesting conversation because I love it when the three of us actually get on together because just our we're almost like a triangle. He's from New York, I'm from Florida, she's in Washington, but she was from the South originally. So, but the conversations we have is just it's great conversations, and I enjoy them quite a bit. When when me and Solomon don't start joking around and get we get into our little mood. I guess you could say. You got to start marrying the meat. Yeah, go ahead. No, no. I just went on to just vent my frustrations while you were taking care of things, and thank God you did. Oh my God, thank God you did. I was so stressed because at midnight I told you that my other the company that I worked for, they lost their domain name for a day or two, and then it got pulled up by a porn site, and I just can't. Lisa's got style. Welcome to the room. Hi, Lisa. Where are you from, Lisa? What state? Just out of curiosity. Canada. Welcome. I get a few subscribers from Canada. That's wonderful. Are you on the east or the west side of Canada? Mm, west. Okay. I'm on the east. I'm in South Florida. So Miss Helms would be closer to you. Mm, yes, yes, yes. You'll have to excuse me for 1 minute. But yeah. Aaron, yeah, stick around stream. I will be right back. Mm. All right. I'm sorry about that, guys. Max needed to go out, and I cannot have him bark because I'm having issues with the neighbors. They're yeah, they're calling the cops on me. They're rather than talk to me about it. They talked to me after they called the cops twice, and the top cops pretty much told them they can't do anything. I'm gonna try to center this to. It's a little bit better. There. That's better, right? All right. So, anyways, two people in the room, probably. All right. See, this is the thing. I live in a rural community. It's I could tell them to go kick rocks, and there's nothing they can do. They can call the police all they want. The police have to anybody that calls the police, they have to make a response. But the first time they did it, the police just drove by and they didn't do anything. But the fact that there's police presence out here to begin with is just like it's abnormal for them to be just cruising down my street because I'm in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? So then come to find out that they were calling the police, and it was like, really? Okay. All right. I don't there's only one reason that I call the police, and that's if someone's bleeding profusely and I can't stop it, or there's a situation that's going on, or there's violence going on, or something like that. I will not ever call the police because my neighbor's dog is barking, you know? And for everybody that I know that lives here, I mean, I've lived here for 20 years. My father told me what to say to them, and I was like, no, I'm trying to be, they're my neighbors. They live right behind me. I don't need them because they can call code enforcement and they can call animal cruelty. I mean, they can do a lot of stuff if you got an enemy as a neighbor. And you don't, in my opinion, you don't want an enemy as a neighbor. I'm going to try to resolve it. I did. I explained to them, hey, I'm sorry. I have to tie the dog up when I've got people coming in and out of the house, construction workers, or I'm unloading or unloading. It was for that wedding that I catered. That they happened to actually come up and say something to me. And I was like, I'm trying to load my vehicles right now. I've got my dog chained to a fence. He doesn't like it. I mean, he's got plenty of lead, he's got plenty of room to go. I take care of my dog. He's not abused. He just does not like being constrained. And that's it. And he's going to bark until there's nothing. And they walked over and they actually said, we'll buy a bark collar for him. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? No, I want my dog to bark. I want my dog to bark. If he sees something, I want him to, he's my first alert system. He's got better senses than I do. He can tell when something's going on that I can't. So, anyways, Miss Helms, how many? It looked like you had a good amount of property. Do you have an acre of property? Less than an acre? I want to know that because I saw your pear tree and I saw your apple tree. I'm just curious as to how much you have. I've got an acre and a quarter property line, which is big. Is big considering where most people live, but it's still like a neighbor. Okay. Yeah. It's like I can raise chickens, and they were bitching about him barking in the morning. I could literally have freaking 3 roosters over here, which used to wake my ass up when I was a kid in the morning. The roosters cocking at freaking 4:30 in the morning. That's when they start. As soon as the sun starts rising, as soon as it starts peeking over, roosters start cawing. And yeah, that's a pain in the ass. Thankfully, I'm a heavy sleeper. Or no. Actually, I learned to be a heavy sleeper. But yeah, it used to bug me when I first moved out here. All the freaking roosters crowing, stuff like that. So, well, one thing that I learned just from doing videos, Miss Helms, because watching Hook It Up Homestead, stuff like that. I've been also watching other things. I want to make my own little chicken coop. Um, you can have like two hens and they will still produce eggs. You don't need a rooster to produce eggs. That's one fact that I just learned in the last few weeks. Because I've actually been very focused on uh, getting a chicken coop going up in my backyard, you know. Of course, I've got to get the whole uh, I got to get this whole room all set up. It's more about free eggs. When I grew up, one of my neighbors was a Portuguese lady. One of my best friends growing up, Portuguese, is from Portuguese family. They had a smokehouse in their backyard with they would smoke chorizo sausages. They had a chicken pen. Um, I when I was 15 or 16 years old, I got to see them do that. My parents themselves that moved out here, they weren't farmers or had anything like that. We have Florida Panthers here, which my father is now pushing. Oh shit! My mother told me the other day. My memory is shit, so I can't remember. My father's say 70, 73 years old. Let's just say 70. No. I'm gonna say 68. All right, I'm gonna say 68. If they rewatch this, I'm an asshole son for not remembering. Anyways, my father's an older man. He's lived out here for a long time. He's seen a Florida Panther one time. One time. Most people live out here will never see a Florida Panther in their entire lives. I've never seen one, and I'm 50 years old. So they're elusive. They're elusive creatures, so they don't. It just happened that he came out in the driveway. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a rare thing to see. I think it's just me and you, Miss Helms, talking, which is cool. I enjoy it. Yeah, so that's 20 years. 20 years. Now, were you hunting them or just, you know, because if you're actually looking for them, then that's something different, but. Mm. So I want to ask you a question. Is your pear tree actually dying? Is your pear tree actually dying? Is that what happened? Now, do you have black leaves? Now, did you see what I said about going to the agricultural department, taking a clipping of the leaves and doing that? Yeah, no, I saw the video where the petals have fallen off. I was just asking, are there any other signs? Is there black marks on the because like on the leaves on the avocado tree, they had like this black film on them, you know, and the thing just started like dying, and then they turned brown and the leaves themselves started falling off. But your leaves looked healthy. That's what I was questioning is the flowers fell off, which is that they naturally going to do that anyways. But are your leaves themselves falling off? Because once the leaves start falling off and dying, then the tree is completely dead because it can't get any. That's how they eat. That's how they feed. It's through the sun. But do you have any leaves that look abnormal? Do they have like black on them or anything like that? The only other thing I could think of is either like in Florida we have termites that will go into the tree and it may be a pest. Yeah, okay. I would definitely though. I grew up. My mother was a secretary for the agriculture department at Palm Beach County, and I got lots of information. At 15 years old, I got information on how to grow my own mushroom farm. I did not utilize that. I decided to be a renegade instead. But there's so much information that you can get from your state agricultural department that it's free too. You just walk in and tell them. You could walk in and say, "Hey, I want to start hey, what's going on with my pear tree?" You know, "Hey, how can I grow more of this?" They've actually, I think the message that I sent you, they actually, at least in my county, they germinate seeds for you. I was trying to germinate an African pepper called the peppadew, and they took it upon themselves. I was like, hey, I want to try to germinate it because it's a similar uh, environment. However, it's on the other side of the globe. This was a new pepper. It's the newest one of the newest species of edible plants that have been discovered, and it's called the peppadew pepper. Um, the one before that was the kiwi fruit that was in the 1970s. However, I wanted to grow the peppadew. Number one, because I love peppadew. It's a sweet. It's not spicy. It's a sweet pepper, and it's um I know a little bit. Yeah, well, yeah. I've like I said, my mother worked for the agriculture department over here, and I've tried to grow lots of things, legal and not. So everything from mushrooms to the funny. I've yeah, I've got a very green thumb. I've got a very green thumb. Um, But yeah, even tried to do shiitake mushrooms where you're supposed to get like these giant um well, all right, we're diversing off the subject, but my point is if you go to your local agricultural department, they have an infinite amount of information for especially for the local area where you're at. Um which is tested and true. And like I said, they'll sometimes even germinate seeds for you. You know, I was trying to grow these South African peppers, the peppadews, because in England they grow and they sprout 100 peppers in these giant bushes that are like 8 foot tall. Mine in Florida, I got it this big. Wait, there we go. it got this big and it had one little pepper on it, and that was it. It did not do good. But the agricultural department helped me do it. They helped me germinate all the seeds. So it was experiment. It didn't work. I would have loved for it to work because if I could be pumping out some Peppadew trees, I would have loved. What's that? No, Peppadews are these giant sweet peppers. They get about the size of a quarter. Okay, they get the size of a quarter, and you can stuff them with like goat cheese and roast them, and they're delicious. The flavor of them is, I don't know, they're one of my favorite peppers. They're sweet, not spicy. They're tangy. I want to say they're tangy. They're not spicy, but you know. No, not making hot sauce. I'm not a hot sauce guy. I mean, I am a hot sauce guy. I'm not a maker of hot sauce. I want to make food, not sauces. If that makes any sense, I want to make food, not sauces. So, but yeah, I'm on a rant. I'm glad you're here, Miss Helms. I'm glad you're here. This was fun. It's already midnight. Oh my goodness. You don't understand how hard my heart was beating that I was not going to make that my web page was going to be turned into a adult site. I was so, probably Erin, because she said she was going to keep it on while she was working. They're getting ready for Tim's 50th party. 50th birthday party. Congratulations. This is a guy, when I was 15 years old, I would ride into tech school. We were in tech school when we were younger. He was in electrical, which now he's a electrician. I was in for diesel mechanics, which I went for a year and a half and decided that I did not want to be a mechanic when I was 15 years old because I didn't want to be stuck in a shop, you know? The Epstein woman that accused him and won in court against Prince Andrew just passed away. How old was she? Oh, she took her own life. Yeah, how sure are we? I was talking to Solomon, who has experience doing well, you and I were both talking to Solomon, who has experience about how what happened never should have happened. And it was definitely set up. And I believe him because when you're that high end of a case, there's video surveillance 24/7 in every cell nowadays, you know? It's yeah. Yeah. And it's sad because there's no, I don't know. I'm frustrated. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Problem is we know it, but there's nothing. What, what are we gonna say? I know something's up. Yeah, all right. Um, yeah, that's a shame. Yes, my friend is turning 50 on Saturday. Tomorrow, today. Hey, happy birthday, Tim. Happy birthday, Tim. Aaron, tell him happy birthday if you still got this plan. Awesome. I'll be there after work. But this was a fun night. I just got on live just because I was frustrated with something, but it's funny. But it's funny because the one person that I wanted to ask about that picture showed up. Thank you, Miss Holmes. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. But I was like, oh, I know somebody that might know about this. Yeah, everybody's welcome in. Yep, 4 watching, 4 likes. Hey, that's good. I just came on because I was frustrated and I was actually about to if I had any hair, you see while I'm missing a little bit of hair right here. It's because of stress. You know. Now it's genetics. I'm gonna be bald. That's it. And it was funny because when I was a kid, I used to make fun of my dad being bald, and he says, "Hey, you just wait, genetics. It's gonna catch up to you there, buddy." So I've got uh my coworker Bill Carrar he got COVID, so he's been out of work for a while. And I guess while he's been out of work, he's been stuck in his bed, and his wife won't even let him out of the room. Was feeding him through like a little tray under the door and stuff. And he sent me a few videos from some of our trips and stuff. Um, no. He is short term COVID. Just regular, he came back to work today. He didn't have a fever anymore, and he's back to normal. But his wife, either way, he had downtime for a few days to recover, and he was going through. He brought up a couple of videos he sent to me out of boredom. I'm sure just going through his phone, looking for something to do because everybody's working. He can't talk to anybody. Um, but it was a trip that we took to New Orleans, and yeah, he's recording it while I'm trying to. His son asked me to step on his back to kind of crack his back for him. You actually hear it click in the video, and I said I want to post it. And then when I talked to him tonight, I was working with him tonight, and he was like, "Yeah, you can post it, no problem." So maybe I'll do it. Another one was me, of course, coming off and dancing. So what I was thinking is putting a dance music song while it's me just dancing. But yeah. So, anyways, he dredged up a few videos from late night in the hotels when we were in Vegas. I'm not Vegas. That wasn't Vegas. It was New Orleans. New Orleans. So I was drinking a little bit during that time. Mm. I don't know if you're here still, Miss Helms. This was a crazy incident. You can't smoke inside, of course. So we're at this hotel, And it's paid by for a club and everything. So I go downstairs. In order to smoke, you got to go out and stand on the street, basically. But however, we're kind of in a bad neighborhood, but we got a doorman, and it's like we're the I don't know how to explain it. But I stand out to go outside to smoke. I got to go around the corner, go outside. I don't want to stand right outside in front of the hotel. So I walk down the block a few. I'm smoking a cigarette. And some guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, can I have a cigarette?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I give him a cigarette. And the guy's in a bad state of mind, apparently. I didn't realize it when he asked me. And then I realized that he's got blood dripping down his arms. And I noticed that when he was holding the cigarette up to get a light, as I was lighting him up, and he was like, "Oh man, thank you so much." And he gives me this hug, and then I looked down. I said, "Hey, you're bleeding, man?" And he says, "Yeah, man. I don't give a fuck about life anymore, man. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck." Meanwhile, now I've got fucking blood all over me from this random guy off the street. I'm going, I start freaking out. So I I I I want to get cleaned up right away. So I turn around, go back into the fucking room, go in, can't go up to my room because the guy's taking a shower. So I go into um, my boss's room. At the time, Lewis wasn't my boss, but now he's my boss. Now he's the head boss. But at the time, it was one of my bosses and when I say boss, it's a sous chef. We're coworkers. You know what I mean? But he's just technically his word goes above mine. You know, um, he's not my. I don't know how to explain it in the kitchen. All right. But anyways, his son, which is currently both of our bosses, him and his dad, or me and his dad. Anyways, I come in, I knock on their door because I know they're there. It's like, I'm covered. Help me. I rip my shirt off. I'm wiping the blood off of my sleeves, and they were like, what? They're like looking at me like I'm a maniac because all I did. They're just sitting down, chilling, watching a game in the hotel or whatever, and I come busting in, and I'm like, using their sink and cleaning off. Yeah, it was a crazy little experience. New Orleans was yeah, it was a little rowdy town. Like I said, we weren't in the best little area. I mean, we Ubered to some of the best restaurants ever, but yeah, but we got to see a lot of the street life, you know. So it was a very interesting experience. Let's just say that. But one of the best. I might put one up. What time is it? It is 12:19. I'm 20 minutes. I got my domain. Let me show you, Miss Holmes. I'm so happy. Oh, I got some Discord. Discord's people that Miss Helms, I implore you to reach me on Discord because that's where people reach me. Where you talk outside of YouTube. Um, it's my same name at Discord. Um, Damn it, damn it, damn it. See that? That was everything that I was stressing about for like the last 48 hours. I do not use Wix. My friend uses Wix. She's the one that set it up. Erin set everything up for me, and she got it taken care of. That's all that matters. That's what it was. GoDaddy's what she sent me to, but I guess we're having issues with it. Maybe she outbid it. I don't know. But Erin was the one that takes care of everything. I was just happy that said my domain is good for another 5 freaking years. I'm like, I'm so happy because there's multiple people. If somebody else got that domain name, I've got only a handful of clients. Only a handful of clients. But those clients, they that's what they use to make their orders from me, you know? And it's like, uh, you would never guess, Miss Helms, if you were researching me in real life, you know, if you were researching in real life, you would never guess that Brandon of Palm Beach .com, you would never, you wouldn't associate that with me because I'm, you know, that's completely different and off the spectrum, you know, but um, but to lose that to lose that name, I've been using it for the last 5 years, so it would have been it's multiple people that have that use that. I don't own a catering company. But yeah, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm surprised you never put two and two together, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think it's just me and you on here now. Maybe Aaron's still streaming it, but oh yeah. Yeah, it's nothing special. Erin that was here earlier, she was the one that designed the entire thing. She designed my entire she set it up. She used some stock photos and stuff like that to set up the menu. I gave her a menu and description of everything, and then she went freaking nuts with it. Erin is the best. Oh, when it comes to art and stuff like that, and setting things like that. She manages a restaurant over here in South Florida. Um, the one that was here earlier, Erin, um, that you got to meet. Uh, but yeah, it's all it's family. It's she's literally in-law family. She married my best friend. My brother married her sister. So uh, that that's weird. Do you remember that song? I'm my own grandpa. You know? So yeah, something like that. I think that we're the only people here. That's the only reason that I'm talking about it, you know? Yeah, but Aaron does all of the stuff for the advertisements and stuff like that, the web pages for the restaurant that she works at, and does a great job at it, you know. She's the one that helped me. She's the one that designed. She did everything for my web page, and the only thing that I was just concerned about is an adult site getting control of my. So when the old clients go to click on, oh, let's see what Brandon can do, and then they get, you know, cheekybuttboys.com or something, or whatever it is. But adult sites tend to grab. I did mention that, right? That my friend had a pizza parlor that, yeah, his domain, people are going on the website to order pizza, and they had ass and boobs in their face, you know? You didn't know that they would buy the things on purpose, the domain names on purpose? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They just funnel them into sites. It doesn't cost very much. And the revenue, the potential revenue that they can get from the redirect. Can you imagine if everybody that, um, just imagine this, HomeDepot.com, okay? That's owned by HomeDepot.com. That's not like a copyright. All right. HomeDepot.com it's a registered domain name, okay? There's no copyright on it. I mean, I can start if the name is not done, HomeDepot.com. That goes up for every 5 years or however long. You've got to renew that. You have to register that name, you know? So imagine if I got HomeDepot.com before Home Depot did. And this actually happened when domains started first getting, because people were, before Home Depot actually got into the internet, people were registering those names, and then they were selling them for thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, because HomeDepot.com could be it could be you could make an adult site. Oh my goodness. Um, all right. I don't know what that means, but all right. I'm sorry. I got distracted. Uh, but yeah, anybody can buy a domain name, and if it goes up, and that's what they did actually early. A couple of smart people realized that, oh, I can buy Walmart.com, you know, and then they sold it to Walmart, you know, because Walmart's willing to pay for it because Walmart.com didn't want an adult site being on, you know. Yeah, it's now it's all done. Now there's so many companies that are ready to jump into every single domain name that's not taken. Like I said, my buddy had a pizza business, ballunopizza.com. Okay, you would think, okay, nobody wants that name, right? Ballunospizza.com. Guess what? The day that it went expired, as soon as you click Balluno Pizza, as soon as you typed in ballunopizza.com, it went directly to an adult site. And yeah, people were actually calling the physical phone saying, I don't know what you guys did, but now. So that happens. Oh my goodness. It's 12:30. Miss Helms, tomorrow I'm going to be enjoying Tim's 50th birthday and party. I will be imbibing in quite a few. I will be having a good time, and I will be a wreck on Sunday morning. Michelle, hey. Oh no, it's not Michelle. It's Michael. I know. Hey, Michael. Oh, I wish you luck with your next batch. I wish you luck with your next batch of soap, please. That's Michael. That wasn't Michelle. I'm sorry. Sorry, Michael. Welcome in, Michael. We're just actually getting ready to end. So, but thank you for stopping by. Yeah. Yeah. Especially because I'm going to be anytime. Anytime. I go live sporadically. I don't have any set schedule. So when I'm here, I'm here. But welcome in. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. So yeah, it's my bedtime too, Miss Holmes, and good luck with your soap. I hope it works better than your last batch that you had a little error with. But you live and you learn, right? Learn from your mistakes. As the motivational speaker said, we don't make mistakes, we make learning experiences. So, that's true. But, hey, you fuck up sometimes. Hey, that happens too. Exactly. You learn from it. You get better. You move on. I tell my girls, they were like, "Well, why, what do you, what do you, try to rephrase this?" They say, "Oh, you're not gonna look cool." I said, I don't care if I look cool because I am cool. I don't know a way to express it. It's hard for me to express into the experience into words. I'm gonna have to probably think about it and then regenerate it. But I basically don't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks about me. You know, you value your friends, you value people's opinions, but that doesn't mean that you take those opinions and you run your life with them. You take them with a grain of salt. Thank you. Thank you for your opinion. That's it. I don't care. Someone could call me doofus. Somebody could call me totally cool. Hey, wonderful. Does it mean squat to my life? It doesn't. It really doesn't. And anybody else's opinion does not matter on your life. Nobody else's opinion matters on your life. The only opinion that matters is your own. You know, you be the person. You be the, you decide what's going to happen. You know, there's so many people that said, oh, you're doing YouTube. You'll never do YouTube. You'll never be. Okay, whatever. You know what I have to say to them? That's it. I don't care. I'm doing it. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. That's it. If you don't like it, I don't give. It does not concern me. I got my own life. I got my own stuff. Good night, Miss Helms. I'm going to clock out before I get in too deep. All right. You guys all have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming in. All right. You have a wonderful night, Miss Helms. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Have a wonderful night. Oh, there it is. In stream. Good night, all.